cells, if இதுதான் GI cells now, what and all is present. See, the first thing that is present towards the lumen is the mucous cells, and then next we have the parietal cells, and then next we have the enterochromaffin cells, and then we have the chief cells. Now all these types of cells secrete many different things. First, mucous cells. The mucous cells which is present in the antrum, cardia, so it secretes mucus. Okay, we'll see what it stimulated to secrete later. So first cell, mucous cell, will secrete mucus. Parietal cell which is present in the fundus and body will secrete HCl and intrinsic factor. Okay, so we saw mucous cells. See, mucous cells is what is going to secrete mucus. Parietal cells is going to secrete intrinsic factor and the acid. Enterochromaffin cells which is present in the fundus again. So this only the mucus is present in the antrum, cardia and pylorus. Parietal cells and the enterochromaffin cells are present in the fundus. This will secrete HCl and intrinsic acid. This will secrete histamine. And the last is the chief cells. Chief cells is what is present in the body, mainly body and fundus. It secretes pepsinogen and gastric lipase. Apart from this, we have a separate type of cells called G cells which will secrete gastrin. Now we'll see what are the stimulus for secretion of mucus. So mucus is secreted by vagal stimulation. Alright, so mucus is secreted by vagal stimulation. Next, after the mucus, we will see what is seen. We see the parietal cells which is in the fundus and body. For HCl and intrinsic factor to be secreted, we need gastrin. This gastrin again is coming from the G cells of the antrum only. So we need gastrin, we need vagal stimulation, we also need histamine. Histamine is again coming from the enterochromaffin cells of the fundus. So fundus and gastrin together will help in secretion of HCl and intrinsic factor. Okay, and then we have, so we finished the mucous cells, we finished the parietal cells. So enterochromaffin cells, we need histamine. Histamine for this gastrin is required. Gastrin comes from the G cells. Okay, and then the chief cells which secrete pepsinogen and gastric lipase, vagal stimulation is required. Now finally the gastrin, which helps in everything. Gastrin will help in HCl secretion, gastrin will help in intrinsic factor secretion, gastrin will help in histamine secretion, which in turn helps in increasing the HCl secretion. All this is secreted by, one is vagal stimulation, the other is peptides. So these two things will be secreted by the gastrin. We will be help in secreting gastrin, but it is inhibited. That is why gastrinoma. See, since gastrin has a lot of connections in secretion of HCl, that is why gastrinoma, it has very high acidic condition. It's a very high acidic medium in the stomach. Now this acidic medium, the gastrin, is inhibited by somatostatin, and also the proton pump is inhibited by somatostatin and inhibited by H plus in the stomach. So this is what helps it. This inhibited by H plus is like a feedback. More of the acid will tell the gastrin, no, stop producing this, so that HCl will be stopped. So these are all the drugs. To summarize, so mucous cells is secreted by the will secrete mucus, for which vagal stimulation is required. Parietal cells, acid and intrinsic factor, for what we need vagal stimulation, we need gastrin, we need histamine. This gastrin is going to come from G cells, which is present in the, rather G cells are present in the antrum. Okay, and then next will be the enterochromaffin cells, histamine, which is also secreting histamine. For this, you need gastrin. Again, this is stimulated by the help of gastrin from the G cells, from the antrum. Chief cells which secretes pepsinogen, and also gastric lipase, for which vagal stimulation is required.